peace, peace, peace. What's up, Soul Tribe? Yours truly, Ivory Soul's Journey in Tarot. This morning, we're going to just say Ivory Haru speaks. Y'all all right with that? Check a couple things out. Y'all all right with that? Alrighty. Boom. Okay. That checked out pretty good. All right. That checked out pretty good. All right. That checked out pretty good. Look at that. Boom, moderator. Love to see the moderators in here right out of the gate. What up, Keith? What it do? What up, Bev? Where everybody checking in from? Everybody good? Everybody feeling good? We just gonna have a little conversation this morning. I gotta talk about this shit here. I wouldn't be who I am if I don't say nothing. Welcome back, everybody. Now, this live stream, just like any other live stream, is intended for 4 things: information, clarification, and confirmation only. So, take what resonates, ignore the rest. Always follow your own divine intuition when you're making life-changing decisions, folks. All right? Interested in anything personal? The information's in the description box of this here live stream. You want to support the message or the messenger? Information's in the description box of the live stream. Either or, we're going to roll. Right? What's up? Butterfly Love. Bev. What it do? Who else is that? Jenny, what it do? Robin. What's up? Cecilia. What it do? Jamaica. What it do? Everybody good? Now, for those that was around in 2024, I did a live stream. And it was about a few months before the election of 2024. And I simply asked Spirit, I simply asked the universe, what can we expect in the outcome of the election in 2024 for Donald Trump and Kamala Harris? And the 2 cards that came out, 1 card for each person. Donald Trump, he drew the Knight of Pentacles. Okay? And Kamala Harris drew the 2 of Wands. Y'all remember that? But the bottom of the deck, I think, was the 7 of Swords. Okay. So I asked the question, who's going to win? So when you take the Knight of Pentacles over the 2 of Wands, most people, not everybody, most people will say Knight of Pentacles. Just from a tarot meaning perspective, right? Because the 2 of Wands is like on the outside looking in, grass wasn't greener, And it's an empty room. Let me show it to you. It's an empty room. If I can find it right, I'm going to find both of them. It's an empty room. What they got to do with what I'm getting ready to talk about this morning? Let's just talk about it. Now, you see the thumbnail, right? I'm going to tell y'all something. I don't care what color you is. If you don't see what's going on, now I don't like to get into all this political shit and racism shit, you know what I'm saying? That's just me, myself, personally. That's just me, myself, personally. I don't get all into that shit right there. Go one of them. Because I know what it all means and what it all stands for and where it's going. So I want to talk about this bullshit. And it's straight up bullshit. Now, don't nobody else say nothing about it, that's good. They put their spin on everything else, so I'm put my spin on this. Right? Hold on, let me find this other card. Let me find this other card. There's a reason why I'm going to pull these two cards out. It's really three. Where you at? Any other time, it'd have been on the top. Watch this here. We are almost at the last one now. We're going to find, hold on. It's in here. Or did I already pass it? Are you serious? Hold on, y'all. I'm looking for the Knight of Pentacles. You want to know what I'm doing? I'm looking for the Knight. There you go. Man, it was the first one. All right. So Donald Trump pulled the Knight of Pentacles in 2014. Always remember this person, yours truly. I read every damn thing. Upright, reverse, sideways, backwards, forward. That's why it's not a quick video. All right, so that's what Donald Trump. You don't believe what I'm saying? Go back and you'll see. 2024, right before the election. And Kamala Harris pulled, or she drew rather, or I drew, and it was the Two of Wands. This is the outcome of the election in 2024. All right. Bottom of the deck was a Seven of Swords. And I said in that live stream, whoever get in that White House is going to be something crooked about them or their family or their significant other, their children, whoever. It's a crook. They crook. Whether it was going to be, it didn't matter. Whether it was going to be Kamala or whether it was going to be Trump. Now, I want to share something with y'all. And this shit's crazy. Because let's say if I read this here Knight of Pentacles in the upright, and I did. That's how it came out. I just take cards and when I'm done, just put them all back together. Shuffle and cut them, whatever, put them up. It don't matter what, upright, reverse, however they come out. However, if I was to read this Knight of Pentacles, impatient, lazy ass piece of shit, no loyalty, dishonest, all that shit. Don't want to work, right? Unskilled, unreliable, unstable, just un. If I was to read that in reverse, and then when you take the Two of Wands, now that's Kamala Harris. That's what she drew. If I was to reverse this Two of Wands, and just go by just a general tarot perspective, that's somebody that fears change. Because in the upright, it's a choice. Two aces of wands. But that room is empty in the lights here. Somebody's getting ready to leave. That's travel. Making plans, right? So this would be her. Bottom of the deck, Seven of Swords. If I was to read this Seven of Swords upright in the reverse, somebody at some point in time, either something that's hidden, some lies or whatever was going to come out, or somebody want to come clean. Somebody's confessing. Yeah. Seventh sword in reverse. Turning over a new leaf. Coming clean. Confession. Somebody's conscience is whooping their ass. Okay. Done with that. The reason why I'm doing this video, this live stream this morning, as you can see in the title. So for 400 years, as they tell us in history, you had 400 years, let's just say 400 years ago. Now, America is only 250. So for 150 years, it was crucial. To whereas you had the same people, Britain, the same people, Britain, that created Israel in terms of modern day Israel, which you can call politically Zionists. Listen to me real good, folks, as I go somewhere with this. Let's talk about it. And the same people, Europe, when I say Europe, I'm talking about France, Germany, Austria, you know, the whole nine yards. Italy, Greece, all this. Europe, Spain, Britain. They did not, you take Europe, they're the ones, quote unquote, Germany is Europe now, and Britain, and they were persecuting the Jews. Now, a Jew is different than Israel. A Zionist is different than Israel and a Jew. So they was persecuting these people. Europe, Britain, and Germany. Hitler, according to their own history, did not see those people as God's chosen people. At least not the God of the Western civilization. Because if somebody was to take two and two and put it together and say, okay, this is a book called the Bible, and Western civilization hold this book to heart. There's so many reasons. They hold that book to heart. And in that book, it tells you that God rejected Israel, the Jews. Now, I'm just giving y'all some information, okay? You ain't got to believe shit that I'm saying. Your history book that I had in school or at the library, it may have been a different history book, but the history book and the Bible that I know of, I know what I'm talking about. He did not see them as God's chosen people per the God of Western civilization, because the God of Western civilization really is Satan or Saturn. No shit. Now, you ain't got to believe me. You just got to go research. Satan or Saturn. Saturn has a lot to do with governments, institutions, and things of this nature. Okay? That's Saturn. I could go on and on and on and on. Set, Saturn, Satan, Saturn. You got it? Okay. So Europe kills millions and millions of Jews. And Hitler said, no, they ain't God's chosen people. I know this for a fact. In fact, America, God's chosen people, them the ones y'all over there in Turtle Island killing. I learned this here from y'all. That's what Hitler told the American president. Go back and look at your history. See, I learned this from y'all. Don't come calling me talking about killing some Jews. That's supposed to be. All right, fast forward. So here in this land, you got Britain, who, quote unquote, who says to all of its peasants, diseased, poor, crime-ridden, we're going to give y'all a 2-year agreement. It's called the Indentured Servant Agreement or Contract. And we're going to put y'all on boats. And we're going to send y'all to the New World. The Americas, the West Indies. And you're going to work on this 2-year contract. It's indentured servant contract. This is where you first get the classification of what is called white people. There wasn't no such thing as white people before then. There wasn't even no such thing as a race. Anyway, so when the 2 years was, so they sent them on over here. When they get here, they impoverished. They don't have shit. Barely living. Some died. Many of them died. This is long before you heard anything about us that's already here, our ancestors, coming off of a boat from West Africa. Long before you ever heard of that shit. This what was going on in Britain. Now, when you get on up to World War II, and Hitler said, no, I don't acknowledge y'all as God's chosen people. But the Masons and the Vatican in Britain, Spain, Portugal, France. Notice all these countries that I'm naming. These are European people. And this imperialistic, psychopath, narcissistic mindset drove these people to just go all over. So by the time they get to the Berlin Conference, they carve up Africa and America. At that time, it wasn't America. The native land, the territories, Turtle Island. By the time they carve it all up, the West Indies and so on and so forth, the islands, Jamaica, how you going to have a British island right over here in the Caribbean? That should tell you something. So, as I am a student of history and just like to know shit, what some say you become dangerous, Ivory, is when you start putting it all together by using astro theology or astro tarot. And it starts making sense. That's when you get dangerous, because you're tapping into a divination, you tapping into an energy that they've been using for years. They've been using for years, for centuries, to keep a scale over your eye and tell you every damn thing that they use and they do. They tell you it's evil. I'm just being 1,000 with you. So consciously, most people's mind cannot comprehend the fact that if I say something like the Jesus Christ story, and it is just that, the Jesus Christ story that you read about is not true. Consciously, you can't comprehend that, most people. You can't. Somebody, when I was doing a lecture live a few years ago on social media, and someone asked in the live comment, can I prove that the Jesus Christ story character that we was told about, can I prove that he never physically existed, since I said he never physically existed? I says, okay, let me give you the equivalent of what you're asking me. If something never physically existed, how can I prove that it exists? If I'm telling you he never physically existed, how are you going to ask me, how can I prove something that I'm telling you never physically existed? I can't prove that. The bearing of the proof is on the person who believes that he exists physically, that he physically exists. So now you have to prove to yourself that he physically existed. If not, it's just a belief, it's just a cult. That's it. You need to go back and question the first person who told you about him, and then ask that person who told you. You weren't just born, you just come out of the womb screaming Jesus. You didn't come out of the womb screaming Muhammad, Allah. You didn't come out of the womb screaming Jehovah, Yahweh. You didn't. Somebody told you something. You believed it. Fast forward. So for 400 years, 400 years, these people come over here, impoverished, peasants, disease, crime-driven, traumatized from their own government, and sent over here, not across the Atlantic, straight across from West Africa to the Americas, because you can't do that. The ocean genres will not allow you to do that. That's why they had to go south, bypass Australia, right? And come back around South America, Brazil, all the way back up, what you call modern day Mexico and so on and so forth in South America, and then to the Caribbean islands, hundreds of them. Then you can make your way. Now, this is the route that Christopher Columbus is supposed to have came. Why is this important? He ain't do that. He ain't discover shit. It didn't say United States of Columbus. It says United States of America, because Americus was an Italian explorer before Columbus. So they named it after him. Most people don't know that, though. Christopher Columbus discovered America. They told you this is shit in books. You believed it. You got a grade on it. They etched it in your mind. Your ass could not get out of that grade level unless you believe that shit and got that shit right on the test. That's called spell work. That's called programming. You got me? Okay. People talk about reparations that looks like me a lot. People south of the border, Hispanics, Españols, right? Brazilians, Argentina. Everybody's talking about reparations. You know why? Because the same European group that created Israel, their parents, the mother of Europe, Rome, created the story of Jesus. Why is this important? Because the God is Vulcan, and the God is Saturn, the God is Satan, the God is Set. You can't tell me, listen, you get a group of people, come over to a land, and pretend that they're coming here because they use the same fucking excuse they use now with immigration. They come over here and pretended that they were being persecuted by the people that they signed a contract with. Slaves didn't have no opportunity to sign a slave contract for 2 years. 2 years. Because that's what an indentured servant agreement contract is. So they come over here. They ain't got shit. My people, my fucking people, fed them, clothed them, give them land to put their families on out of the kindness of our hearts. Let's talk about it. And within a few years, back then, just like now, it wasn't a lot of women for them to choose from. European women, you on a strange land, mostly men, young men. So who did you breed with? What started as a kind gesture, thanks for helping us, turned into rape, revolts, murders, and so on and so forth. Then now these same people, listen to me good, these same people who had that contract with their country decided we ain't gonna renew this damn thing. After so many years, we ain't gonna renew it. So what happens? Britain gets mad. They got the baddest damn navy on the planet. What do? They send people over here to come and get these folks. We didn't do anything to them. They coming over here to get these damn people that agree. So now you got white fighting white, European fighting European. And we get pulled in this shit. So by the time they get over here and they whoop their own people's ass, if it wasn't for us, they'd have whooped. So now we got to help these damn indentured servants. We got to help these damn peasants that's on a damn contract. We got to help them fight these damn Britons. Before you knew it, there was cannons and guns. My ancestors didn't have nothing to do with no goddamn cannons and guns. And they get over here and they see this beautiful land and these beautiful people. They see it flowing with milk and honey. One thing led to another. Signed an agreement. They whooped our ass with bullets, cannons, and an ink pen. Bullets, cannons, and ink pens. And as I did this lecture years ago to try to break it all down, because the Jesus Lubbock boat, wasn't no ship, boat, that came over here, this was King James, a boat by a boat maker. I forgot his name, but he made boats for trade. And he loaded up this, and King James bought one for his mother and called it the Jesus Lubbock. And they used it and put a version of his 1611 edition of the Reformed Bible and sent it over here to the States and sent missionaries with them. Men missionary mostly. And before you knew it, they started colonizing. Colonizing and discovering and colonizing is a slick ass way of saying you saw something, discover. It existed before you saw it. So they'll say discover, establish, incorporated. So they started colonizing in our own territories with our permission. Hoarding. As time go by again, our people started getting diseases. Because what? They've migrated into our space with diseases that didn't exist over here, with cancers known today that didn't even exist over here. High blood pressures, diabetes, none of this shit existed over here. People are over here dying of old age, not cancer, not diabetes, not high blood pressures. And as I keep saying, time goes on, and as time went by, a few years later, it leads up to where we are now, 400 years. You take a group of people, they're wandering. They don't have no land. So where did they come from? They start their origin on this planet 6,000 plus years ago. That's it. So now we're fighting. When I say we're, the descendants of my people have been fighting for years to get reparations as former slaves. Because we believe the story that you came off of a boat, not knowing that I just told you you was already here. Your parents were already here. Your ancestors was already here. So their Supreme Court laughs at us every time we come before the Supreme Court or the floor of the House or the Senate to argue our stance about reparations for former slaves. descendants of former slaves. And they laugh and mock us. You know why? Because they know truth, historical truth. They trying to get reparations as slaves, but we can't prove that they were slaves. Why? Because we lied to them. We told them the story and they believed it. You're not going to get reparations as descendants of former slaves coming from Africa. There were a few. 90-some% of the people you know as descendants of slaves on this land never came off of a boat. We were already here. Before you, I can remember in the 70s, but before you started talking about slavery, we used to say, my grandmother, my mother, my great-grandmother, they used to say they was Cherokee, they was Chickasaw, they was Choctaw, they were Iroquois, they were Coahoma, they were Tunica from the territory or the tribe of Tunica, whatever. They said shit about no damn slave stories. Then in 76 or something like that, 77, they come out with another damn story. Roots in the 70s. Because before the 70s, my folks, I'm telling you, they was not talking. I know. They wasn't talking about no damn Kunta Kinte and no slave boats. And my great-grandmother, born in 1898, who named me, she knew her mother. She knew her grandmother. She knew her great-grandmother. That would have taken it all the way back in the middle of the slave trade. She said, "Nah, baby, don't believe what them damn white folk tell you. They took our land. We didn't come off no boat." My dad told me that. So I never bought into the narrative, because around my house and my elders and ancestors, they did not talk about coming off no damn boat. They say they took our shit. $400 years. Germany has gotten reparations. Japan has gotten reparations. South America has gotten reparations. Canada has gotten reparations. Now we getting Iran getting reparations. Iraq got reparations. Israel get reparations with the middle finger. Israel get reparations every fucking year. Without the backs of my ancestors, there will be no what you call super world power, call them. Without the backs and the brains. Let me take my ass over to Europe right now. Whole new land, whole new agriculture, a whole new other side of the planet, and then pretend like I can run this motherfucker. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. I know what's going on. Y'all don't know. I'm new here. I can't do it. I'm a minority. They gonna kill me. So how did they do it? They used religion. If you can change a person's God, if you can change a person's God, if you can change a person's belief system by force, and say your God is evil, Your language is dumb. Your culture is stupid. Your spirituality is evil. It's spell work. And then get you to believe that shit. They got you. They got you for, like Jim Crow said, for at least 1,000 years. That's how long it'll take for these people to awaken or unlearn what we forced on them. But if they ever wake the fuck up, we're in trouble. Some of y'all got to realize, some of y'all know, in order for you to advance anywhere in your human experience on this land, you must, by all means necessary, remember who you are. Remember not only who you are, but who your parents were. And if you go back, not a long ways, now 400 years ain't no long ass time. When some of y'all are connected to bloodlines, that's 2.5 million years on this planet. 36,000 years on this land, the Americas. So South, North, or Canada. 36,000 years. No Africa. Did you hear me? 36,000 years, no Africa. I can tell you how Africa comes in, but I'm talking about right here, right now. I said back in 2015, when I saw Trump come down that damn escalator, I said, damn, this gonna be not mine. I ain't vote. Listen. I laughed when I saw it because my energy picked up on it quick. Damn, this gonna be y'all next president. Damn Pied Piper. Many people supported Trump, not because they liked him, but a lot of people was kind of rolling with Trump because he wasn't a politician. He wasn't a politician. The Republicans hated his ass because why? He was an outsider. He was once a Democrat. His daddy was a Democrat. Mama was a Democrat. So he was an outsider. Not to mention, he was a failed real estate developer. He had filed for bankruptcy several times before he even ran in 2015. But he was an outsider. African American, I don't like using class and titles, but African Americans, before Trump ran, they used to fuck with him back in the day. Everybody. Jesse Jackson, Mike Tyson, all of them. The rappers, celebrities, his sorry ass danced in the Soul Train line. Y'all don't remember this shit? Everybody used to want to go to Trump Plaza, Caesar's Palace, all this shit. Listen. So there was a part of people that fucked with Trump, not because as a politician. And the Republicans hated his ass. Go back and look at the debates. They hated his ass. His vice president called his ass a racist fascist. Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, Lil Marco. And Trump is smart, street smart, gangster smart. He said, you know what? I'm going to make my enemies my footstool. And the very people that call him all these crazy names, those are the people he chose this time. You're not going to get no more loyalty. Knight of Pentacles. You're not going to get no more loyalty than that. When you choose your enemies, it's like Barack Obama. He was smart. Hillary was so racist towards Barack Obama, talked about him so bad. And he said, you know what? I'm going to make your ass my Secretary of State. Enemy. Arch enemy. So now you got America, Israel, and the chosen. For the next, from this day forward, these people are fighting for shit that belonged to me and my ancestors. Everybody on the fucking planet comes to my folks' land that we've been here for 36,000 years and they fighting over our shit. We, on the other hand, won't stand up and fight for shit. You got Iranians, hear me out now, in their country at the outset of the war, when Trump said we getting ready to bomb all their bridges, all their oil and all their energy infrastructure, we getting ready to bomb all of it. What do they leaders do? They leaders say, hey, y'all, come here. Every goddamn body. We gonna get on every goddamn bridge, and we gonna be around every energy facility, every oil facility, everywhere. And when they bomb, the world gonna see that they just killed 30 million people. And the world wasn't going to be able to stomach that. If he could get away with it, he would have did it. On our land, our problem is, number one, their God is not our God. You have not benefited from the God of the Bible. You can't lie to me and tell me shit. That ain't your God. His boy is not your savior. They created and created him. 325 AD. Their language is not your language. Their culture is not your culture. Until you know who you are and you unlearn and you awaken to who you are first, you ain't gonna stand up and do shit. I always start my live stream just like this. I see all, I know all, ready to fight. And as my grandson tell me, Granddad, you old coon now. This old coon still got some fight. And I'm going to tell y'all something. To my melanated brothers and sisters, I don't care if you black, Hispanic, whatever. If we don't come up, and I said this in 2015, if since y'all like to, I didn't vote. I voted one time. Let me tell you why I voted for this dude. Never been a Trumper. Because of a mockery from Barack Obama. A mockery. Most brothers voted for Trump. They did it as a mockery. Because when you get Barack, there's not a brother like me living when Barack Obama was president. In 2026 or 2024, there's nothing that I can say, okay, then what did Barack Obama do for me? See, white presidents, they do shit for their people. And they give me and you a middle finger. What did Barack Obama do specifically for his people? Every goddamn president that's ever been a president under the American British corporation has taken care of their people first. In fact, they was giving away land by hundreds of thousands of acres during the time when people was coming over here from Europe and all over the fucking world getting free fucking land. Our land, giving it to them free. That's doing something for your people. When in 1890, 13 millionaire families in this country, 13 families that was millionaires, all 13 of them are on your money. All of the 1890, 13 millionaire families. Them same goddamn family, y'all killing each other over their money, over their paper. These same 13 families is running shit today. 13. Our problem now, let me tell you something. If I was going to be political, I would start my own party. I'll start with just me, and then we'll go out and have a petition, and we'll just go out and just start with one motherfucking person. When you want to have shit, when you want to change shit, start with you. You be the change. I can't fuck with no Democrat. I know their history. I can't fuck with no Republican. I know their history. I said in 2015, if we stand a chance, we're going to have our own party. It's too late now. Because why? There's no more democracy, and you can just take that goddamn Constitution and burn it. Because the descendants of the people that gave y'all this here fucked up ass document, this damn Constitution, guess what? They don't even live by this shit. Same goddamn people telling y'all about the Bible, they don't even live by this damn book. America, Europe is responsible for murdering millions of my people. Fucking apology. They'll never give it. The Constitution is a narcissistic, sociopath, dark doctrine, etched in Freemason document that ain't worth shit. Now they'll come after me. They did it before. I laid low. Shit's about to hit the ceiling, folks. And we is not, me and my people, me and people of color. And like I said, I don't care if you're black, Hispanic. There's even some European. We're in trouble. I don't hate. I don't deal with the racism. I don't hate. You fuck with me, I'm gonna fuck with you. You real with me, I'm gonna be real with you. You honest with me, I'm gonna be honest with you. You loyal to me, I'm gonna be loyal to you. You dedicated with me, I'm gonna be dedicated with you. It's called reciprocity. It's not called race. If there is nothing, something like a freedom party to come up in America, we're screwed. When you get a rate, when America, see, it's not Trump, and that's what I try to keep explaining. Trump is taking advantage of a corrupt, political, fucked up ass system that's designed to benefit a few people. He tore that damn dough down because why? Before he came into politics, he was an outsider. They didn't fuck with him. All they wanted was his donations, his endorsements. That's it. And he learned a damn fucking game. Now he's president. White people came after him. Jews came after him. African Americans didn't come after him. African Americans is what saved his ass. Hispanics is what saved his ass. If it wasn't for African American or Hispanic, Trump would be in prison right now. Can I say that again? If it wasn't for African Americans and Hispanic, Trump ass is in prison right now. Or dead. And I'm talking to Trump now. So we go out and put your ass back in the office. African American, Hispanic. Because of a mockery from Barack Obama. Telling us we ain't black. Motherfucker, we didn't make it to be president. Your ass made to be president. And like I spelled out, Barack Obama, every president before you did something for their people and said, fuck the law. Trump's doing something for the folks he fucked with and saying what? Fuck the law. Because they know the law is crooked. No justice and no fuck. How can you say you got justice in America when the whole foundation of which you started is fucked up? You had to kill, murder, rape, and enslave to get to where the fuck you is, and you call this great? Fuck they laws. Fuck the Supreme Court. Barack Obama, you didn't have the balls like Trump. He went out and did something for his people, his folks, his clique, his MAGA, his elite. And you didn't. That's the difference. Like Tupac said, fuck the law. And if Barack Obama would have had that mindset, he could have got some more shit done. Because once I would have seen, me and millions of other brothers and sisters, once we would have, I ain't talking about, oh, he the first this, he the first. No. Janet Jackson, what the fuck have you done for me lately? Once we would have seen that, wait a minute, he helping his people. I ain't talking about no damn Obamacare. That's for everybody. White president do shit, write policies, write laws for white people, white companies, white businesses. That ain't racism. That's taking care of home first. Look, that's why I don't complain. Okay, then y'all got the juice. Y'all got the power. Y'all can do what y'all want to do. I can't do shit about it. If me and other folks in this country don't see that shit, don't complain. And I'm going to say this shit. 109 days. No, he wasn't the first black president. There were 7 other presidents in this country before George Washington that were black. Dick Gregory would have been elected the first black president, but they held the shit back. They didn't count all his votes. Facts. But where we are right now, we still own less than 1/2, and this falling, of 1% of this nation's wealth. And when this economy, when this empire it's crashing and falling now, folks. I'm telling y'all, you ain't got to believe me. But when it completely falls, takes its last breaths, it's going to be fucked up in America. Because what's going to happen then? In this age of awakening and Aquarius and the knowledge and the knowing, more and more people are going to come into the knowledge of the truth. And they're going to realize that they've been bamboozled. They've been hoodwinked. They've been lied to. And they wake up. They're going to be mad. They're going to be mad. They're going to be mad. And when you got a failed state and it's broke, and this here bullshit called paper money no longer means shit, they're going to be mad. They're going to be mad. And we're not going to be able, just like it was the same young folks that was helping Martin Luther King and supporting Malcolm X, they going to be mad. They ain't going for this shit. They ain't going for this shit. When you can't put food on the table, when you ain't got no job, when you ain't got no businesses, when you don't own no hospitals, when you don't own no grocery stores, very few banks. And if the financial shit, when it hits rock bottom, that means that them banks ain't worth shit. So the few banks that we do, how are we going to survive in the very near future? As a people, we always survive. You know how we going to survive? You know how we going to survive? We're going to unite and take back our shit. Trump fucked up so bad in Iran and Iran from a standpoint of you got a group of people. They ain't got no Navy, no Air Force, so to speak, no nukes that we know of, and just a strait of water like the Mississippi River with a hook stood up to the world power and stood up to the regional power Israel and said, back the fuck back. Get the fuck back. Or we'll blow all this here shit up before we let you have it. We'll burn this motherfucker down with you. We'll help you burn it down. before we let you have it. Trump couldn't do nothing but back the fuck up. What? Why? Because for them, oil is like gold. They would kill millions of us, millions of Iranians, millions of people for oil. Because my people are the ones who built the Industrial Revolution. Hold on. Built it. And when you get, let me tell you something now. Hold on. Why? When you get, I'm just going to say it just because we conversate. When you get a black woman or a woman of color, black, Hispanic, I don't care what she is, and she can't feed her babies, she can't feed her babies, she can't get no money, she ain't got no Bitcoins, she don't own no hospitals, she don't own no grocery stores. But she's coming to the knowledge of the truth that her ancestors' land that was taken from her. And she no longer serves the God of her oppressors. And she got to feed them babies. It's going to be women standing in front of bullets, machine guns, going to get their shit, doing whatever they got to do to feed them babies. They're going to be young men, people of color. I'm not trying to invoke no race riot. I don't believe in racism. We're about to enter into a dark period in America. And I think that it's going to go beyond reparations. Because if there is a God that cares about you, that cares about me, and that God says, okay, enough is enough, it's time to whoop ass. And that God, not your oppressors, not your enemies, God, and that God shows up on your behalf, you ain't gonna have to do shit. But if there is not a God that cares about your ass, and you keep praying to these gods that your ancestors don't know, there's no God coming back to save your ass. You will be caught up in another 2,150-year age cycle. And this shit continues. But because of this awakening, because of this conscious awakening, because of this, and because now more and more people are going to see, I'm talking about people of color, that care about who they are, and that understands that this shit is not going to change unless I get out here and make it. That's when America, when you have millions to show up in Washington, D.C., not for no march, no million-man march. Show up in Washington, D.C. Show up all over the country, major cities. Listen, there's nothing you can do, folks. America, there's nothing that you can do when a God loves his people, her people, its people, love them enough to empower them with no fear. No fear of death, because we know now you never die. You can't stop millions of conscious awakened warrior minds. You can't stop it. When people wake up to the fact that they've been poisoning your children and we ain't just been, and then when that shit changed, you can't do nothing about it. You can't do nothing about Washington. Washington, listen, you can't do nothing about 10, 20 million people showing up in D.C. that don't give a fuck. Because why? You done took every goddamn thing. You done drained our land, poisoned our land, took all our natural resources, and then don't give us shit. Give every damn body reparations except the people that you took it from. When their descendants wake up, there ain't shit you can do about it. You ain't gonna have a big enough army. When you start seeing people migrate, when you start seeing mass amounts of people saying, I'm going to get our shit, like Martin Luther King, they killed him for this. When he told Washington, poor people camp, we coming to get our check, Washington. When you get millions of people to realize that the government don't give a fuck about us, and there's no laws on the books to protect us, we'll protect a group of fucking fake ass chosen God's chosen. We'll protect them that ain't did shit for America before we protect the people that allowed your ass to exist on this land. And then their descendants wake up and realize what the fuck you did. And don't even want your history books, don't even want your religious books, don't even give a fuck about your laws. That's when you're going to see the reset. I didn't say out here running around. No, killing and on site. No. If it gets to that, that's because people don't give a fuck no more. They ain't worried about dying. They starving. They hungry. They traumatized. They depressed. They oppressed. And when you get to that point, until whereas you just can't take no more, and you just come out, ain't nothing you could do about it. That's where we're headed. It's gonna get to a point to where, though the awakened mind is gonna be more like, fuck reparations. I want my land back. And these elites and all these here people, and you know who you are, and you living on land, especially farmland, that was once the land of my ancestors. And when they descendants start coming back and taking their shit back and not give a fuck about a piece of paper called land, ownership, or laws, and know that you took it, ain't shit you can do about it. I know so many Hispanic people from all over the world, and they feel the same way. Now they feel like, damn, so they used us. Let us over here to use us for political reasons and for slave labor. Now they're saying, fuck that. Nah. And when you get enough, fuck that. No. You got a problem. You got a problem. 300 billion. They giving a nation 300 billion after 100 days of bombing them, and them people stood their damn ground and said, you ain't coming over here to take shit. And they get 300 billion, 109 days. I'm talking 400 years. Imagine what they owe us. They can't pay it. America is broke. So you just got to go take your shit back. People tell me that I'm radical. I don't give a fuck no more. You call me whoever. You call me Humpty Dumpty. You can call me Rudolph the... I don't give a fuck what you call me. But you're going to get when you start seeing it now, I'm telling you. When it gets to the point to whereas you got a shortage of food and you got, guess what? We ain't got no resources. We ain't got the farms no more. They won't even hardly let us have. Those of us that got land, they isolated. Because we in this court, our people like crab spirit, because we so fucked up in the head in terms of religion and politics and this and that and social structure and so on and so forth. We got little cliques. I don't fuck with them. They don't fuck with me. When it comes time to whereas it becomes an existential threat, and then you start seeing people come together, that's when you know we on the right road. Until we unify, we die. We lose everything. That's why my mindset is let the whole damn thing fall down. Let the Constitution, I don't give a damn if it's civil unrest, civil war, I don't care. The Constitution, if Trump says, he this and that and the other, he can say whatever the fuck he wants to. If the people, because there's quote unquote white people who agree with me. See, you can't keep riding this damn ship, America. You can't keep riding this ship like you did all this here shit, and you don't owe the people that you took it from shit, and you see their descendants walking around here, and you know you came up with a system to blind them from knowing who they are, their language, their parents, their inheritance, you done blind, they God, and then all of a sudden the scales fall off. And you start seeing shit different. And when you realize they lied about one thing, and then you realize, damn, what else did they lie about? And they God and their ancestors begin to show them things that you lied about. And they start walking out of your religious institutions. They stop fucking with your government. Don't give a fuck about your government and your laws. That's when the awakening is in full swing. And it's sad how this institution, this corporation called America, that's all it is, folks. America exists on paper. It don't own nothing. That's the illusion. I don't care where you travel in America. You coming in and out of little counties, and you'll see incorporated in the 1800s. That ain't no long fucking time ago. Established in 1800s. That lets you know that these folks is what they signed and shit. Incorporated, established is a document agreement. It doesn't mean you and I agree to this shit. It's just on paper. Let's take it to the highest court in the land, file it. That don't mean shit. We'll burn that motherfucking building down first. There are white peoples that's ready for America to be burnt the fuck down. The government. There's white people by the millions that hate their government. They just got to come to grips that their government that they hate stole from the people that's waking the fuck up. Now they can stay asleep to that fact, that's on them. But people like me that has awakened to the fact that the only way shit gonna get right, we gotta go back and take our shit. You gotta stand your fucking ground. There's no way in the world I should ever have to pay motherfucking taxes. There's no way in the world I should ever have to pay property tax. Rich white folks don't pay property tax. They don't even pay taxes on our land. We do. They don't pay taxes on our land, but we do. And if you think that shit's right, you think it's just, you think it's normal, you can stay in your illusion. You can stay in your bubble. You can stay under the spell. You can stay in your dream world. That's fine. But the reality is, this is the dawn of awakening day. Not a new day. The dawn of awakening day. And this shit's about to really, really get serious quick. Because if Trump trying to save America economy, it ain't gonna happen. If you think, oh yeah, but they just this wars are not ever gonna end until it ends. And this shit's finna pop off again over the Middle East. And it's gonna be 10 times worse than what just recently started. And the economy here eventually, soon, is just gonna crash. Dollar ain't gonna be worth shit. The Constitution, the government, all that shit. And you're gonna get a lot of these rich motherfuckers, these elites, these rich people. They either be gonna be going to their bunkers or they're gonna be getting on a private jet, going to other countries or going to islands. That's it. What's up, Tanya? Why would you ever vote for him? The same reason why you voted for somebody. Mockery or not, the same reason why you vote. That was the first time I voted in 40 years. And it was a slap in Barack Obama's fucking face. Yeah, I said it, and there's other brothers like me that tell you the same goddamn thing. Not because we love some motherfucking Trump. Fuck out of here, for real. No. Because number one, number two, my family back in Cali, none of them, the people that I know, they wasn't rocking with Kamala. She didn't even win her own state. They know what she did. We ain't got to debate it. So for 40 years, I ain't vote for no goddamn body. And if Barack Obama What did you get? Nate, who is this here? I don't know who this is. Y'all know I'm gonna be real, I'm gonna be raw. Let me ask you something, Tanya. Name one president that ever did any goddamn thing for you personally. Personally. I ain't talking about they passed this law. They passed this law. They passed this law. They got free child care. What did you get? I ain't voted but once since I was an adult. Once. Everything I got, I went out and bust my ass to get. And it wasn't because of no law. What did you get? Whoever you vote. What did you get when you vote for Kamala? She didn't even win. What did you get when you voted for Biden? Or what did you get when you voted for Bush? What did you get when you voted for Clinton? You didn't get shit. What did you get? You didn't get nothing. Ding, 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 ding. That's why I don't vote. Don't matter who you vote for. It don't. It don't. See, here, this is somebody, we just chopping it up now. Somebody said I supported Trump in the beginning also. I thought he was actually going to expose corruption. This is why we don't worship Biden. I ain't voted for him neither. It's first term. I ain't even vote for Biden. I ain't even vote for Barack. I ain't vote for Clinton. I ain't vote for none of the Bushes. None of them. None of them. You talking about the writing was on the wall. The writing, hold on, Tanya. Let me tell you when the writing got on. The writing, you ain't heard none of this, what I've been saying for the past hour and a half then. You must just came in here. The writing on the wall was the first American president, George Washington. By the time they got to George Washington, we had lost already a lot of shit. And no black man back then, no black man ever voted for a Republican back then. No black woman, slave or free, never voted for a Democrat back then. They all was Republicans. And I'm telling you, we can sit up here and argue and debate all day long. Let me tell you the difference. People that look like me, we'll sit up and argue and debate with each other. That ain't gonna solve shit. The Iran's gonna do like this. They gonna come together and say, I wish a motherfucker would. That includes U.S. and Israel. Do they have disagreements? Of course you do. But at the end of the day, when your land, your God, your language, your culture, your children, when that's on the line, they come together. Israel, what they do? They come together. European, white folk, what they do? They come together. What we do? We argue and debate about what the fuck they do. We argue and debate about what they doing on our land with our shit. Why you vote Republican? Why you vote Democrat? Why we don't have control of our own shit? So if we gonna play politics, my whole point, if you're gonna play politics, color people, establish your own party. Hell, Ted Cruz, them, they went out and started their Tea Party. They went out and started Tea Party, all kind of parties. But we won't go out and establish our own party. All we do is argue and debate with each other, hate each other. You got people that look like me that'll hate you for voting for Kamala Harris or Barack Obama, that'll hate you for voting for Trump. Hate. You got people that if you don't believe that Jesus Christ is coming back to get you, they don't fuck with you in no way. I'm cool with that. When you ain't voting Democrat, I can't fuck. I'm cool with you not fucking with me. You screwed. Because you think the same vote that took your folks' shit care about you. The same vote. You know what? There's a law in Israel on the books in 2026 that if you live in Israel, you are not required and is banned from them proving who they are as far as their bloodline to the 12 tribes. You can't prove where you can't prove what tribe you from in Israel if you're a Jew. Because they know their asses ain't real. Because if they go and do a DNA test on somebody in Israel right now, simple as that. I'm just saying from a political standpoint, we need our own party. From an economic standpoint, you got to go and get land. What you gonna build on? We don't even own shoreline. If black people own shoreline, you know, the coastline, anywhere around the country, just shoreline, then at least we can get imports and exports and trade going. We can build a ship. If we can't build it, we can buy them. We're on shoreline. We own no airports. Black folk, real black brothers like me did not see Trump as no goddamn meal ticket. It's like when you tell a person, if you tell a person why you love them or why you don't love them, and then they still don't believe you, what else the fuck can you tell them? I don't love you because of this. I love you because of this. If I'm telling you, me, along with millions of other brothers that I know, black and Hispanic, I'm telling you, we're telling you, we did not vote for Trump because we love this fool. It was a mockery because of some damn fool. I don't roll with no president, American president. But when Barack Obama, again, I'm telling you, come up and say, if you don't vote for Kamala Harris, who fucked you over, you ain't black. At a barbershop. In the hood. And if you go back and look at the videos, most people don't want to do that. They looked at each other. Did he just say what I thought he said? Hold on, let me go and check this damn record so I can see what this fool, what his ass did for me. That's what the brothers started chatting on the chat lines and social media. And they couldn't find shit. I ain't say pass a law. You president, Trump That motherfucker done sit up and done did probably about 5,000 executive orders. Go back and see what executive order Barack Obama did for you, brothers. We ain't gonna even worry about the sisters this time. For you. And when we went check, we kept coming up with blank pages. Okay, what did he do for me? What did he do for me this first term? Okay, then. So back in the 1800s, all them presidents, they was giving away free land. Did Barack Obama give any brother? Let me see if Barack Obama gave some brothers some free land. Damn, he ain't do nothing. Did Barack Obama open up a bank underneath the White House for the brothers? No, he didn't do that. Let me see what Barack did. Let me see what he did. Hold on. I'm running out. What did Kamala Harris and Joe Biden do for the brothers? Brothers. I'm a brother. I'm black. I'm a man. I ain't no black man, but I'm a man. What did they do? They ain't do shit either. Damn. What did George Bush do for the brothers? Damn. George Bush didn't do shit either. Okay, hold on. What about Clinton? What did Clinton do for the brothers? God damn. Clinton didn't do shit either. Damn. I'm talking about my lifetime. Oh, okay, then hold on. Let me see what George Bush daddy did. The first Bush. What did he do for the brothers? What did George Bush the first? Damn, he didn't do shit. Damn. Hold on, let me check with Ronald Reagan. What did Ronald Reagan do for the brothers? And it got to the point to where as when you realize that ain't none of they motherfucking asses doing shit for you, ain't did shit for you. Shit. Shit. So you get a brother in the mindset that be like Pac again. Fuck all of them. Like Michael Jackson. They don't give a fuck about us. Period. So since they don't give a fuck about us, and since the Democrats ain't did shit, and we supposed to keep voting for them, huh? Since the Republicans ain't did shit, and we supposed to keep voting for them, huh? Since we don't have our own party and we ain't doing shit, you take a brother who don't give a fuck and realize ain't nobody did shit for his ass, he'll do something out of spite. I ain't gave them shit. Let me get this part here. Whoever you is, Tan, you don't make no damn sense. You ain't even got no argument. It's like some people you can say something. I ain't knock what nobody did voting for whoever they wanted to vote for. They told y'all it was a right. I didn't sit up here and say it. I ain't never voted for damn motherfucker. No president. Ever. Ever. Because they ain't did shit for me. Some people energies is just dark. It's just you take it. Also, you the reason why. I ain't the reason why shit. You don't vote for president. You vote for electoral college. The electoral college determines who the president. And of the electoral college, the lobbyists determine who's going to be the electoral college. It's all Mason. It's all Freemason. It's all politics. They already know who's going to be the next president. We just in 2026. You don't believe me, do you? So what you voting for? If I can't write down 5, 10 things and go to that president, I don't want no candidate unless it's from a separate party. No Democrat, no Republican, no Independent, no Tea Party, none of these other parties. A whole new party. That's the only way that I'll give a candidate my wish list. He got to be with a whole nother party, representing the people. The fuck are you voting for? Now, Trump is in the office. He's in the White House right now. Biden was in office. We had brothers that went to Biden. We had brothers that went to Barack Obama. I remember before he passed away, Johnny Cochran, there was some brothers, and they went to Barack Obama about reparations. Barack Obama wouldn't even let it on the Senate or the Congress floor for a vote. But now they getting ready to vote after 109 days. Democrats and Republicans, black and white. After 109 days, we're going to give $300 billion for start if they keep it. If they go along with it, we're going to give $300 billion to Iran. We're going to ease the sanctions, lift all sanctions, and let them control the Strait of Hormuz. But a black man, he ain't going to get shit on his own land and his own labor. We're screwed. I'm telling you, if you look like me now, if we don't do something, we can complain, we can argue, we can debate, we can fight, we can hate each other, we can say Bloods and Crips, we can say all that until you come together. We're going to be the poorest people you can ever meet. What's the outcome for Trump? What's the outcome, Spirit, for Trump? 2 cards. I want the outcome, Spirit, for Trump, and I want the outcome for America. Spirit, what we got? Y'all mess. Look at this here shit. Okay. What's the outcome for Trump and what's the outcome for America? I'm going to keep shuffling. What's the outcome for Trump? What's the outcome for America? New grounds. What's the outcome for Trump? What's the outcome for America? What's the outcome for Trump, Spirit? What's the outcome for America? This got to be America. And when I say America, what's the outcome for the true people that care? What's the outcome for my people and what's the outcome for Trump on this land in the near future? What is the outcome for Trump? I got a Knight of Swords in reverse. And what's the outcome for my people in America in the near future? The near future between now and 2030. What's the outcome for Trump? What's the outcome for my people in America? Bottom of the day going to be all together. Outcome for Trump. Outcome for my people now. Ooh, look what came back. Control. Bottom of the deck. Now this, let me just ask a question. You ain't got to believe it. We just entertainment. The outcome for Trump, we got a Knight of Swords in reverse. The outcome for my people in America, we got the devil. bottom of the deck altogether, it ain't gonna work. It's over with. Three of Pentacles in reverse. Let me tell y'all something, folks. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray, seek my face here, I'll heal the land. Listen, y'all know the scripture. African Americans in this country, Hispanic Americans in this country, is being controlled. It's being controlled. That's not good. By 2030. What happens after that, based on what I'm just doing here? The outcome, when I think about the outcome for Trump as a Knight of Swords, it's a missed opportunity. It's a missed opportunity. Out of control, rude, hurtful, tactless, can't trust them, rush, has no mental stability. And when you factor in a Three of Pentacles in reverse, altogether, that means that me, my people, America, and America is not going to work out for us. As long as we're under this assistance, learning, studying, growing, hard work, commitment. Ruled by Saturn, Capricorn. You know, judges in the courts, they wear black robe representing Saturn. Three of Pentacles in reverse. Eight of Cups in reverse. World card. And the Fool. You know, Three of Pentacles in reverse, it's going to take a lot of studying, a lot of relearning, a lot of hard work, folks, for us to end this cycle being controlled by America's system. But there's a new beginning. A new beginning. The new beginning. A lot of healing, folks. And releasing the past. Looking towards the future. Leaving the past behind, no longer sad. Being spiritually guided. Taking back control, victory. Migration. A lot of us is going to be on the move, folks. Where you live now, by 2030, you may not be living where you live now. If, and this if is a big if we stay on the trajectory path that we're on, folks, we're screwed. We're screwed. And as long as we out here in this energy, towards each other, we don't stand a chance. And I really believe that this devil energy is also letting me know that by 20, we'll still be controlled by dark entities. Because why? The majority of us don't realize that these are not our gods. Their God is not our God. You can't tell me I got the same God as the God of America. God in God we trust. I don't trust that God. Whoever that God is. I cannot trust a God that gives its people, not my people. I can't trust a God now that gives its people the right to control me on my land. I'll never trust that God ever again. And as long as we trusting in a system, Saturn rules this energy. As long as we are still trusting in their system and government and institutions and religion and so on and so on, they will forever control us. And we're going to have to learn hard and work hard. We have to work out. We're going to be on the move again. There's a great migration coming. I'm looking at it. It's a great migration coming for us. We might be going back or returning to what made us who we are. Look at all these look at all this travel energy, this migration. More of my people gonna be on the move within the next 3 to 4 years. Headed where? Where are we headed? Where that new start. Working our ass off. We're going to see y'all in the next video. We got our first little tropical storm down here. The wind blowing hard out there. It's raining hard out there. Tropical storm. What do they call it? Arthur. So we got a tropical storm sitting off the coast of the Gulf down here, hugging right so ever closely to that Galveston coast, which is only about 40 minutes away from where I'm sitting. Yeah. And we in a super El Nino season, so you can expect weather patterns to be crazy throughout the summer. The hurricane season should be more intensified this year. And then it's going to be cold and a whole lot of snow in the snow states this year, as well as there's going to be some famine. There's going to be some famine. Somebody said live off the land. That's the key right there, folks. You know, the government, the federal government in America has never given, listen to me, I'm not talking about the Native Americans that are like 1%ers, just like the Jews that's supposed to be chosen. They really 1%ers, right? I'm talking about the federal government saying, you know what? We broke. We did y'all wrong. We did your ancestors wrong. We did your parents wrong. So here's what we're going to do in exchange for. Number one, you don't have to abide by our Constitution. 13th Amendment tells you that. You're freedmen. But we keep taking these Social Security numbers. Every time you take these Social Security numbers, you allow this corporation to incorporate your birth and your identity. This corporation in your name, you don't even know it. However, In all these 50 states, you're saying that the federal government can't say, you know what, in each state, if you don't want to pay no taxes, if you don't want to pay this, if you don't want to have nothing to do with this here constitution, they ain't gonna give us shit. They gonna sign this motherfucking treaty and give us our shit back. Iran is like, no, we don't just want you out of Iran. We, America, we want your ass completely out of the damn Middle East. Get your shit, get your bases, and get the fuck out. Now, are we in a position to say that too? No, we're not. In reality, we can. We just don't want to do like others have. Like Iran has, if they did nothing else, and I'm not no Iranian supporter, folks, but what they've established is this here. You're not gonna come over here and take shit. Nothing. Israel, you ain't come. You don't hear Israel talking about going to Iran taking over nothing. They want to be over there where those folks that ain't got no military, they ain't got no nothing, no bombs, no nothing. Oh, they'll go over there and bully their way and take all their land and level. Gaza, if you see images of Gaza, people don't see this as shit. You know, we just busy doing other shit. It's like total devastation. They did to Gaza what the Bible says that the world is going to do to them. So they doing it to Gaza, and it's sad. Total devastation. Now they doing the same thing in Lebanon. Then they want to go do the same thing in parts of Syria and in Turkey. God's chosen people now. Their own God has rejected them. But everybody's supposed to love them. And they evil as shit. These some evil ass fucking people, period. I said it. I ain't anti shit. I just know I'm calling what I see. They doing shit that if you wanted to see what Hitler was like, you can just go and watch Israel. And once these people over here in Gaza and Palestine and in Iraq, Iran and Syria and Libya, you understand what I'm saying? They have totally just fucked these people over. Just murdered so many millions over the years. America gave Iraq back in the 80s. I know this. America gave Iraq chemical weapons. Listen, to use against Iran. And ever since then, Iran has been saying, calling America the beast, death to America. They gave Saddam Hussein chemical weapons to use against Iran. Then come back a decade later and bomb Iraq. Then come back a decade later and kill Saddam Hussein that they claim had weapons of mass destruction, that if he did have them, they gave it to him and then killed him. This government here, this military, this government, these folks here, these are the worst of the fucking worst. I don't give a fuck. Look at the record. Don't go by all this here talk. Look at what the fuck they've done. And now you're going to have everybody now going to Russia and China and anybody else that got nukes. You're going to have a lot of these small countries now, I'm telling you, buying nukes. If you got a nuke, Israel and America ain't going to fuck with you. China over here in China, they trying to get back their Asian land. America want to stand in the middle of that. You can't have your Asian land back. You can't have Taiwan. You can't fuck with Japan. And these are Asian land. But America can go and take Venezuela. They can go and take Cuba. They can go and just take. That's a narc. Russia said, okay, that was once the Soviet Union. Y'all lied to us. Y'all did some fucked up shit over that. So now Putin is saying, okay, Ukraine, that's our shit. We're going to take our shit back. We'll deal with it. Y'all stay the fuck out. No, America and Europe, they want to tell Putin, you can't take the land back that was once your forefathers and ancestors. But everywhere you see America and Israel go, they taking land that don't even belong to them, that never was theirs. They don't like for you to talk like that. They don't want you to know the truth. If you start right here and realize and just go back and just think now, how many people died on this land that look like me and you, that wasn't fucking with nobody? And they took it. Some of our people work with them. It's always going to be people that look like me and you that's going to always side with the enemy because they scared. They cowards. They sellouts. They traitors. They snitches. You're going to always have snitches. But the majority of us, I'm telling y'all, if we don't wake up, we're going to be in devil energy in the future. Control. Toxic. Materialistic. Devil energy. Think we the shit. Want to control each other. Want to control narratives. My group is better than your group. My party is better than your party. My gang is better than your gang. The Bloods is better than the Crips. The Crips is better than the GDs. We fighting each other. And we ain't got shit. We'll see y'all in the next video. Gotta go. Peace.